Okay. So today we are going to discuss about mural traditions in India. Okay. So we are now going to talk about mural traditions. So for understanding mural traditions, we need to understand like what do we mean by murals. Okay. So murals or mural. Okay. So like this can be pronounced in different ways, but we need to understand the crux. What is murals? Okay. Murals are, big painting that are done on, big walls and all. So they are known as murals. So similar is another kind of thing that is known as frescoes. Okay. So frescoes and murals has some differences. Okay. So like fresco stands for fresh, and it is an Italian term. Okay. So in Italy, what they used to do, they used to, like on the ceilings of the churches, they used to have plasters, and on the top of those plasters, they used to apply some kind of paintings. So they are known as frescoes. And here we are going to understand about murals. Okay. So murals are those big paintings that are made on walls. So they are found on caves. They are found on different kind of forts, and they are even find it modern day architecture. Like if you talk about Delhi Metro, also in Metro they have created a lot of murals. So mural paintings are found. So in this chapter we are going to understand about mural traditions in India. Okay. So here, like in this chapter, we will understand how the mural traditions has evolved in India. Okay. So here they have talked about Ajanta caves. Okay. In Ajanta also like murals are found. They have discussed about Badami caves. Okay. They have given images also related to murals in Badami caves. And apart from this, we are going to read this chapter. Then murals under the Pallava, Pandava and Chola kings. Okay. So they have given some of the images in the NCERT book itself, and we will talk about this particular thing, which is Sattanivasal. Okay, early Pandya period, 9th century. So we will talk about Sattanavasal cave also. Then, so apart from this, they have included Vijayanagara murals. Okay, like murals that are found in Vijayanagar Empire. So Vijayanagar Empire is in modern day Karnataka, modern day state of Karnataka. And apart from this, what we are going to learn in this chapter is like we will understand murals from the state of Kerala. They are known as Kerala murals. Okay. Then we will learn about some of the images over here. So this is a very small chapter. So here we are just going to learn about mural traditions, and so we will also talk about some of the important rulers who have who were fond of mural paintings. So one of the like king is mentioned over here. He is also known as Chaityakari. So Mahendra Varman one, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so we are going to learn about him also, right? And how he was known as Chaityakari. Chaityakari means a person who builds temples and all. Chaityas are the places of worship. So we are going to understand all of them. Okay. So now we will start reading from the beginning this particular chapter. So Iram, is it possible for you to read the chapter for us?
Yes, sir. Am I
Okay,
audible?
that's yes, you're audible.
Okay. So even after Ajanta, very few sites with painting have survived which provide valuable evidences to reconstruct the tradition of paintings. It may also be noted that the sculptures too were plastered and painted. The tradition of cave excavation continued further at many places where sculpting and painting were done simultaneously. So first one is the Badami. One such site is Badami in the state of Karnataka. Badami was a capital of Western Chalukya dynasty, which ruled the region from 543 to 598 Common Era. With the decline of Vakataka rule, the Chalukyas established their power in the Deccan. The Chalukya king Mangalesha patronized the excavation of the Badami caves. He was the younger son of Chalukya king Pulakesi I and the brother of Kirtivarman I. The inscription in the cave number 4 mention the date 578 to 579 Common Era, describes the beauty of the cave and includes the dedication of the image of Vishnu. Thus, it may be presumed that the cave was excavated in the same era and the patron record his Vaishnava affiliation. Therefore, the cave is popularly known as Vishnu cave. So this is important thing. The cave is depicting the Vishnu. Only a fragment of painting has survived on the vaulted roof of the front mandapa. Painting in the cave depicts palaces scene. One shows Kirtivarman, the son of Pulakesi I and the elder brother of Mangalesha, seated inside the palace with his wife and feudatories watching a dance scene. Towards the corner of the panel, the figure of Indra and his retinue. So, stylistically speaking, this painting represents an extension of the tradition of mural painting from Ajanta to Badami in South India. Basically, it was in South India, Badami caves. Then the seamlessly drawn lines, fluid form, and compact composition exemplify the proficiency and maturity of the artist has achieved in the 6th century Common Era. The gracefully drawn faces of king and queen remind us of the style of modeling in Ajanta. Their eye sockets are large, eyes are half closed, and lips are protruding. So it is noteworthy to observe that contour of different parts of the face, creating protruding structures of the face itself. Thus, with simple line treatment, artists could create volume. Next, the mural under the Pallava, Pandavas, and Cholas king. The points to be remembered in the first para is the king, the Chalukya dynasty, and then when the Vataka rule was declined, the Chalukya established the power in Deccan, and then these paintings started to be there since 543 to 598 Common Era. And basically, it is mainly depicting the Vishnu. That's why these are called as the Vishnu caves. Then the mural under the Pallava, Pandava, and Cholas king. So these king also were there in the south of India. So it is also depicting the south. The tradition of painting extends further down south in Tamil Nadu in the preceding centuries with regional variations during the regime of Pallava, Pandya, and Cholas dynasties. The Pallava king who succeeded the Chalukya king in the part of South India was also patron of arts. Mahendra Varma I, who ruled in the 7th century, was responsible for building temples at Panamalai, Mandagapattu, and Kanchipuram. The inscription at Mandagapattu mentions the Mahendravarman I with numerous titles such as the Vichitra Chitta, that is curious mind. Chitra Karapuli, that is tiger among artists. Chaityakari, that is temple builders. So these three are the titles given to the Mahendravarman, which shows his interest in art activities. The painting in these temples too were done at his initiative, though only fragments remain. The Panamalai figure of a female divinity is drawn gracefully. Painting at the Kanchipuram temple were patronized by Pallav king Rajsimha. So this is also one important fact, that is the painting at the Kanchipuram temple were patronized by the Pallav king Rajsimha basically. Only traces of painting remain now, which depicts the Somaskanda. Faces are round and large, lines are rhythmic with increased ornamentation when compared with the paintings of the earlier period. Depiction of torso still remains like the earlier sculpture tradition but is elongated. When the Pandyas rose to power, they too patronized art. Tirumalaipuram caves and Jaina caves at Sitanvasal are some of the surviving examples. So these examples are of Pandyas basically, that is the Tirumalaipuram cave and the Jaina caves at the Sitanvasal. A few fragmented layers of painting can be seen in Tirumalaipuram. In Sitanvasal, the paintings are visible on the ceiling of the shrines, in the verandas, and on the brackets, as Sir has told earlier. It was visible on the ceiling of that particular veranda. On the pillar of the veranda are seen dancing figures of celestial nymphs. The contour of figure are firmly drawn and painted in vermilion, red, or lighter background. The body is rendered in yellow with subtle modeling. Supple limbs, expression on the faces of dancers, rhythm in their swaying movement, all speaks of the artist, skill in creative imagination and visualizing the form in the architectural context. Their eyes are slightly elongated and at times protrude off the faces. This feature is observed in many subsequent paintings in the Deccan and in South India as well. The tradition of building temples and embellishing them with carvings and painting continued during the reign of the Chola king, who ruled over the region from 9th to 13th century. Now, after Pandya, we are now coming with the Chola dynasty. But it was in the 11th century when the Cholas reached their zenith of power that masterpieces of Chola art and architecture began to appear. The temple of Bridheshwar at Tanjore, Gangaikonda, Cholapuram, and Dhanasuram were built during the reign of Rajaraj Chola and his son Rajendra Chola. So these examples have to be remembered, which are of Pandyas and which are of Cholas, etc. So though Chola paintings are seen in Nartamalai, the most important are those in Brihadeshwar temple. The paintings were executed on the wall of narrow passage surrounding the shrine. The two layers of painting were found when they were discovered. The upper layer of painting during the Nayak period in the 16th century. Thanks to the cleaning of the surface painting, examples of great tradition of painting during the Chola period were unveiled. The painting now narrations and aspects related to the Lord Shiva, Shiva in Kailash, Shiva as Tirupurantaka, Shiva as Natraj, a portrait of Petron, Raja and his mentor Kuruvar dancing figures. So the Raja have depicted the Shiva in many ways, like Shiva in Kailash, Shiva in Tirupurantaka, Shiva as Natraj, a dancer as well. So these all are the patrons of Raja. Now the Vijayanagara murals. The painting of the Brihadeshwar temple exemplify the stylistic maturity the artists evolved over a year. So basically this is Chola Brihadeshwar temple. Yes, it is of Chola period. The Brihadeshwar temple is of Chola period. So the painting of Brihadeshwar temple exemplify the stylistic maturity of the artistic evolved over a year. The sinus predetermined flow of lines, supple modeling of figures, elongation of physiognomic feature of human figures, all these represents the perfection of Chola artists had achieved during the period on one hand and the phase of transition on the other hand. While the decline of power of the Chola dynasty in the 13th century, the Vijayanagar dynasty captured and brought under its control the Rhine from Hampi to Trichy, with Hampi serving as its capital. Like when the Chola dynasty declined, so the Vijayanagar dynasty captured the Rhine. So the Hampi was transformed to the Trichy, with Hampi serving as its capital. So this has to be remembered. Now, many paintings survive in a number of temples. The painting at Tiruparakunaram near Trichy, done in the 14th century, represent the early phase of the Vijayanagar style. So, as we have discussed that the Chola Empire was declined in the 13th century. So after that, Vijayanagar took the places of Cholas, and so from the 14th phase, the Vijayanagar style will be there. So in Hampi, the Virupaksh temple has painting on the ceiling of its mandap narrating events from the dynastic history and episodes from the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. Among the important panels are the one which show Vidyaranya, the spiritual teacher of Bukkaraya Harsha, being carried in a palanquin in a procession, and the incarnation of Vishnu. The faces of the figure are shown in profile with large frontal eyes, and the figures have narrow artists. Then in Lepakshi, near Hindupur, in present Andhra Pradesh. So Lepakshi is in Andhra Pradesh. There are glorious example of Vijayanagara painting on the wall of the Shiva temple. In keeping with tradition, the Vijayanagar painters evolved a pictorial language wherein the faces are shown in profile and figures and object two-dimensionally. Lines become still but fluid composition appear in rectilinear compartment. These stylistic conventions of the preceding centuries were adopted by the artists in various centers in South India, as can be seen in paintings of the Nayaka period. So the Nika paintings of the 17th and 18th century are seen in Tiruparakunram, Sri Rangaram, and in Tiruvarur. In Tiruparakunram, paintings are found of two different periods, that is of 14th and 17th. Early painting depicts scenes from life of Vardhaman Mahavira. So he depicts the painting of Vardhaman Mahavira, who the Nika paintings. Okay. The Nika painting depicts episodes from Mahabharata and Ramayana and also scenes from the Krishna Leela as well. So all the four, like Mahavira and the Mahabharata, Ramayana, we have seen the Mahabharata and Ramayana in during the Virupaksh temple also. So it was there, the Ramayana, Ramayan and the Mahabharata was there also in Virupaksh temple also. The Nika painting depict episodes from the Mahabharata and Ramayana and also scenes from the Krishna Leela. In Tiruvarur, there is a panel narrating the story of Muchukunda. In Chidambaram, there are panels of paintings narrating stories related to the Shiva and Vishnu. Shiva as Bhikshantana Murti and Vishnu as Mohini. Now, in the Sri Krishna temple at Chengam in Arcot district, there are 60 panel narrating the story of Ramayana, which represents the late phase of Nika painting. Now, the examples cited above suggest that the Nika painting were more or less an extension of Vijayanagar style with minor regional modification and incorporation. So this can be a statement. It could be asked like a statement that कि Nika paintings क्या extension है Vijayanagar style का. So yes, it is an extension of the Vijayanagar style. The figures, mostly in profile, are set against a flat background. Male figures are shown slim-waisted but with less heavy abdomen as compared to those in the Vijayanagar. The artist, as in previous centuries and following tradition, has tried to infuse movement and make the space dynamic. The painting of Nataraja at Tiruvanjuli is a good example. So the Nataraja painting is very famous architecture. So it is of the Nika, from the Nika period. Then the Kerala murals. Kerala painters during the period from 16th to 18th evolved a pictorial language and technique of their own while discriminately adopting certain stylistic element from Nika and Vijayanagar. So they evolved their own technique, which was different from Nika and Vijayanagar. So the painters evolved a language taking cues from contemporary traditions like Kathakali and Kalam Izuthu, using vibrant and luminous color representing human figures in three-dimensionally. Most of the paintings are seen on the walls of shrines and cloister wall of temples and some inside the palaces. Thematically too, paintings from the Kerala stands apart. Most of the narrations are based on those episodes from Hindu mythology which were popular in Kerala. The artists seem to have derived sources from oral tradition and local version of the Ramayana and Mahabharata for painted the narrations. So it is true that they used to narrate the story in from a vocal version, but they also took the example from Mahabharata and the Ramayana itself. More than 60 sites have been found with mural paintings, which include 3 palaces. So this is the Dutch in Kochi, Krishnapuram Palace in Kayamkulam, and Padmanabhuram Palace. So there are 16 sites, but these 3 are palaces. So basically, we have to remember only 3 palaces, like Dutch palaces, and then Krishnapuram Palace in Kayamkulam, and then Padmanabhuram Palace. Among the sites where one can see the mature phase of Kerala's mural painting tradition are Pundarikapuram Krishna Temple, Payanava, Panayara Karvau, Tirukodidhanam, Tripyar, Sri Rama Temple, and Thrissur. That is the Kunantan Temple. Even today, we observe that the mural painting on interior and exterior wall of houses in villages or haveli is prevalent in different style of the country. These paintings are usually made by women either at the time of ceremonies or festival or as a routine to clean and decorate their walls. Some of the traditional forms of mural are Pithoro. That is Pithoro in part of Rajasthan and Gujarat. I think we have studied about Pithoro. Mithila painting
Yes,
in
yes.
northern Bihar. Yes, sir. So Mithila painting in northern Bihar, Mithila region, Varli painting in Maharashtra, or simply paintings on the wall. But it in a village of Odisha or Bengal and Madhya Pradesh or Chhattisgarh. So these all are depicting the murals paintings.
Right. So now we have finished reading this particular chapter. Now let us go back and relook whatever things we came across, and after then we will give a look on the images. Okay. So we will just quickly see what are the things we came across, right, in this chapter. So here, so we are now talking about the later mural tradition. So they are talking about that even after Ajanta, very few sites with painting have survived, which provide valuable evidences to reconstruct the tradition of painting. It may also be noted that the sculptures too were plastered and painted. The tradition of cave excavation continued further at many places where sculpting and painting were done simultaneously. So in this respect, we have seen about Badami, that Badami is a place which is located in the state of Karnataka, and basically, the capital of Badami, Badami was the capital of the early Chalukyan dynasty, and they ruled from 543 to 598 Common Era. And then with the decline of the Vakataka rule, the Chalukyas established their power in the Deccan. The Chalukyan king, his name is Mangalesha, okay, patronized the excavation of the Badami caves. So here they have discussed about the cave number 14, and they have talked about that, it mentions the date from 578 to 579 Common Era. Okay, so the date is 578 to 579 Common Era. And so now here they have given the example of a Vishnu cave. Okay, why it is important? Because like they are saying, the inscription in the cave number 4 mentions the date 578 to 579 Common Era, describe the beauty of the cave, and includes the dedication of the image of Vishnu. Thus, it may be presumed that the cave was excavated in the same era, and the patron recorded his Vaishnava affiliation. Okay, therefore the cave is popularly known as Vishnu cave. Only a fragment of the painting has survived, and the valued roof of the front mandapa. So this is the thing. So this is the like we will see the image once again. Okay, so now we have just gone through the Badami caves. Okay, so now they have talked about that, the sinuously drawn lines, fluid forms, and compact composition exemplify the proficiency and maturity of the artist had achieved in the 6th century. Okay, so they are mentioning about the style of modeling in the Ajanta caves. Okay, now after that we have learned about the murals, okay, under the Pallava, Pandava and Chola kings. Okay, so we have seen murals under the Pallava, Pandava and Chola kings, and today during the current affairs session we have discussed about, I guess, Chola kingdom also. Chola and Pallava, we have discussed about them. So here, like under the Pallava, Pandava and Chola kings, during the mural tradition, they have mentioned about some important personalities. Okay, so like we are going to see those personalities. The tradition of painting extended further down till down south in Tamil Nadu in preceding centuries, with regional variations during the regime of Pallava, Pandya and Chola dynasties. The Pallava king who succeeded the Chalukya king in parts of South India were also patrons of the cave. So they are saying that, you know, Chalukyas were patrons, but the Pallavas were also patron. They have mentioned the name of a person. His name is Mahendra Varman I. So Mahendra Varman I ruled in the 7th century. Okay, he was responsible for building temples at. So he has built temples at Panamalai. Okay, then Mangada Pattu and Kanchipuram. The inscription at Mangala, Mandagala Pattu mentions Mahendra Varman I with numerous titles such as Vichitra Chitta. It means curious minded. Then Chitrakar Pulli means tiger amongst the artists. Then Chaityakari, temple builders. Then we have came across the paintings at the Kanchipuram temple were patronized by the Pallava king Rajasimha. Only traces of the painting remain now, which depict Somas Kanda. Then they have mentioned about the Pandya kings. Okay, so when the Pandyas came to power, they too patronized art. Okay, then Tirumalapuram caves and Jaina caves at Sitanavasal are some of the surviving examples. Then they have discussed that, you know, so in Sitanavasal paintings are visible on the ceilings of the. Okay, so here they are talking about the Sitanavasal. At in Sitanavasal paintings are visible on the ceilings of the Shirins in Varandas and on the brackets. Then they have given the, you know, these paintings are painted in vermilion red on a lighter background. So they talk about the bodies rendered in yellow color. So the body of this particular painting is in yellow color. Okay, so we now come towards Chola kings. Okay, so like it was during the 11th century. Okay, that the Cholas came into zenith of power. Zenith means the highest, you know, highest power. The kind of, you know, a particular kingdom may reach to the highest form of power. It is known as zenith of power. Okay, the temples at Brihadeshwara at Thanjavur, Gangaikonda Cholapuram and Dharasuram in Tamil Nadu were built during the reigns of Raja Chola, his son Rajendra Chola and Raja Chola too. Okay, so they talk about 2 layers of paintings over here. Okay, then Lord Shiva. So they are mentioning the painting show narrations and aspects related to Lord Shiva. Shiva, like Shiva in Kailash, Shiva as this Purantaka, Shiva as Nataraja, a portrait of the patron Raja and his mentor Puruvar, dancing figure, etc. Then we came across Vijayanagara murals. Okay, so under Vijayanagara they are talking about the Brihadeshwara temple. Okay, so so here, like in Vijayanagara, okay, so I'll be reading this particular sentence. With the decline of the power of the Chola dynasty in the 13th century, the Vijayanagara dynasty, 14th to 16th century, captured and brought under its control the reign from the Hampi to Trichy, with Hampi serving as its capital. Okay, so Hampi served as the capital of the you know, Chola dynasty. So Hampi acted as a capital of Chola dynasty. Then the paintings at Tiruparakunram, okay, near Trichy, done in the 14th century, represent the early phase of the Vijayanagara style. Then in Hampi they are talking about Virupaksha temple. Okay, it has painting on the ceilings of the mandapa, okay, narrating events from the dynastic history and episodes from the Ramayana and Mahabharata, okay. And among the important panels are the ones which show this Vidya Raina, the spiritual teacher of Gupta Raya Harsha. Okay, and then we discuss about the Lepakshi temple. So in Lepakshi near Hindupur in the present Andhra Pradesh, there are glorious examples of Vijayanagara painting on the walls of the Shiva temple. Then they are now talking about the Vijayanagar painters. So here they are mentioning that these stylistic conventions of the preceding centuries were adopted by artists in various centers in South India, as can be seen in the paintings of the Nayaka period. So like they are just citing the example of Nayaka period. So paintings of the Nayaka dynasty in the 17th and 18th century are seen in Thiruparakundram. Okay, Thiruparakundram. So now Sri Rangam and Tiruvar in Tamil Nadu. So they are talking about, like, you know, the temples are found in these places in Tamil Nadu. Then early paintings depict the scenes from the life of Vardhaman Mahavira. So here, like we came across that when we discuss about the Nayaka paintings, okay, so Nayaka painting has, you know, like references from Ramayana, Mahabharata, and at the same time, you know, like from the life of Vardhaman Mahavira. Okay, the Nayaka paintings depict episodes from the Mahabharata and Ramayana, and also scenes from the Krishna Lila. Okay, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Krishna Lila, these things are there. In Tiruvarur, there is a panel narrating the story of Muchukunda. Okay, in Chidambaram, there are panels of paintings narrating stories related to Shiva and Vishnu. Shiva as Bhikshatana, okay, Bhikshatana Murti, Vishnu as Mohini, etc. So in the Sri Krishna temple at Chengam in Arcot district, there are 60 panels narrating the story of the Ramayana, which represent the late phase of Nayaka painting. Okay, so it represents the late phase of Nayaka painting. Examples cited above suggest that the Nayaka paintings were more or less an extension of the Vijayanagara style with minor regional modifications and incorporations. Okay, so here, like, you know, they have given the artist, as in the previous centuries and also following centuries, has tried to infuse movement and make the space dynamic. The paintings of Nataraja at Tiruvalanjuli is a good example. Okay. So now after then we came across the Kerala murals. Okay, we came across Kerala murals. So in Kerala murals, they are talking about, like, you know, the painters evolved a language of taking cues from the contemporary tradition. So now they have started taking cues, means they have started taking, you know, hint from the contemporary tradition during the Kerala murals. So here they have mentioned about Kathakali and Kalam Izuthu. Kalam Izuthu is similar to, like, you know, recently this thing was in news. Okay, means like Great Indian Bustard, like, so I forgot that particular Kollam. Okay, so Kollam is a kind of painting that is done on the floor. Okay, so they make geometrical shapes over there. So this is known as Kalam Izuthu, or they are also known as Kollam. Okay, Kollam, geometrical shapes, very finely, you know, made on the floor of the house. Okay, this is the thing. Then these represent human figures in three dimensionality. Okay, so the images in the Kerala painting represent human figures in three dimensionality. Okay. Then the artist seems to have derived sources from oral traditions and local versions of the Ramayana and Mahabharata for painted narrations. Okay. Then if we talk about mural paintings, this include three palaces: the Dutch Palace in Kochi, okay, Krishnapuram Palace in Kayamkulam, and Padmanabhapuram Palace. Okay, and among the sites where one can see the mature phase of the Kerala mural painting. Okay, traditions are like Pundarikapuram Krishna Temple and Panaya Narkavu and Thirupondithanam, Prayar, Sri Rama Temple, and Thrissur, then Vidakuntham Temple. And if we talk about other things, some of the traditional forms of the murals are Pithoro in parts of Rajasthan and Gujarat, Mithila paintings in northern Bihar, Mithila region, and Worli paintings in Maharashtra. So this is all about in this chapter. So we have gone through this chapter twice. Okay, we have tried to go through the important headings that we came across while we were doing the first reading of this particular chapter. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to meet again. Okay, like after the session gets over, we are going to meet again for maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, and then like we will discuss the remaining portions over here, or we can continue, you know, we can just see the images over here. So this is one of the image that talks about queen and attendants at Badami. Okay, queen and attendants at Badami. So this particular image that we can see, it is like the actual, you know, crux of the image is missing. So the painting has deteriorated over a period of time over here. So it is queen and attendants at Badami caves. Okay, then let us talk about second image. So it is they are talking about Sittanavasal. Okay, in the early Pandya period during the 9th century CE. So in the Sittanavasal, so they have, you know, these paintings over here. These paintings are finely made. Okay, elaborated. They are using different colors. Okay, so here we can see red color, white color, okay, greenish color, and also there is a like, you know, people are being shown in yellow colors, little bit yellow colors over here. Now if we talk about the next image over here, so it is like it talks about Devi in the 7th century Common Era at Panamalai. Okay, at Panamalai. So here again the human figure is represented using yellow color. Okay, so the painting has survived, but the actual quality of the painting has deteriorated over a period of time. Now if you talk about this particular image, okay, so it talks about Dakshinamurti at Vijayanagar, Lepakshi. Okay, Dakshinamurti image at Vijayanagar.